Hey there, everybody, it's Jesse. It is like 6 a.m., and I just finished the live stream, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm not going to wait till I go to bed and do it in the morning. I'm going to do it right now. We're going to get the Q&A out of the way, because it's a promise. I have to give something of value on Friday besides like a crappy stolen speech from the movie Independence Day. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm here to do that for you. However, you'll notice, I guess you can't because it's out of frame, but the hat, can I go like that? Like, yep. The hat's over there. I had a little malfunction today. I'll explain that in a minute. It's sort of baddish news, for me at least anyway. I'm not sure how many of you will actually care, but for me, it sucks. But first, an announcement and then some good news. The first announcement, which I actually have written down here, is that the headphone contest should have ended last night at midnight. I will give you until this video right now. So if you submitted anything up until the moment this video goes live, it's in. However, anything after this video right now will not be included in the contest. Thank you for entering. I've seen some pretty freaking amazing stuff. I cannot wait to go through it all, and the winners are going to be amazing. There's some really, really good ones. It's going to be kind of hard to pick, but let's just say there are a few terrific standouts. Winners will be announced sometime this week. It depends on when I have time to make the videos. I will have winners by the end of this weekend for sure. I'll announce them when I have time to get the videos up, but it will be this week. It will be this week. As you can tell, things have been a little hectic. It's 6 a.m. and I'm doing a Q&A. I haven't slept, and I've been live streaming since noon. So, speaking of the live stream, a big thank you to everyone who came and watched the entire thing, or just parts of it. I had a blast. Big thank you to Thomas, Maywis, Kane, the man, who is, you know, he's the man. Chris, Lewis. Did I already say Lewis? Thomas, Maywis. I think that's it. Mike, Kiske, Akai, anyone else who was around today for the RPG Makers Payday thing. Thank you guys. It's really early. I can't remember if I'm just going to end up repeating the same names over and over again. So if I missed you, I apologize. Again, it's really, I probably shouldn't be doing this. Also, big thank you to Krendor, Wild Krendor, who came and played Saints Row with me, and then we played some League of Legends, and then Dodger, who came in at the very end there to play League with us, and for a while she was kicking my butt. She was doing pretty great. And then, if you want to see awesomeness, watch the end of the stream when we play League of Legends, and this is maybe my first time. Technically, I played half of a game before, and then TB and I quit to like get dinner, but this was my first time really, and 3 games in, I finally got a victory and was kicking ass, so I don't know, maybe the other team was just horrible, but I feel good about myself. And it was definitely worth staying up till 5 a.m. to do. And, yeah, so big thank you to Krendor, who stayed up really, really early, because he's 2 hours ahead of me. And to Dodger, who has a shoot for a film or something she's doing today in, like, 2 hours. So, big thank you for that. And more importantly than all of that, a big thank you to all of you who voted and are continuing to vote, because the King of the Web is still going on until noon today. So, from whenever this posts till noon Pacific Standard Time. If you go to kingofweb.com, you can see the little timer for today. We're trying to win today's daily vote. That's it. That's the goal. So if we win it, awesome. If not, we tried. But right now we're really far ahead. And I've never been more proud of you guys. I can't even talk. Seriously, this is amazing. And Space Butterflies, man. Space Butterflies. Which is why I have some kind of bad news. Mostly it's bad news for me, but really, I just feel bad for the people who sent this stuff in, because it meant a lot to me, and I am just kind of peeved about it. But, so, for those of you who remember, I got a 6-pack of a drink called Tentacle Grape, which was very creative. I think one is somewhere behind me, like right there-ish. Like, let's look, I'm patting myself on the head. There. I got a 6-pack of that. I shared some with friends, drank one live on the podcast, had a great time. I decided to keep one on the shelf and then keep one in the bubble wrap they came in, Well, I stored that in a bin. I got a bin, and I've been storing every single bit of fan mail I get in there that I've read and responded to, every single bit of fan art that I, haven't had time to put up on a wall or cool stuff like that, stored it in there. And I don't really know what happened, but at some point, since it got really, really hot out, or maybe during one of the 2 earthquakes that I honestly have no clue. The earthquakes weren't that powerful, so I don't think that did it, but who knows what happened. Needless to say, the bottle shattered of tentacle grape, and it tentacle graped the entire container. Luckily, not everything was in there, but my oldest of old, like the very first fan mail I ever got, was in there with it. And so, as you can see from the image on the screen right now, it got covered in grape soda. The problem was, I didn't know that happened, and so today, when I went to go add stuff to that bin that I had all the old stuff in, there was this weird, like, funky smell, and that's when I noticed it had been like that for at least a good 2 weeks, because that's the last time I was in there. And with the heat, as you can see, I sort of got like a little, like, my windows are closed, and it's like 80 degrees in here thing going on. But, yeah, I don't know. And so it was nasty and moldy, and so the whole container's gone. It's unusable. It's nasty. And I managed to save most of the fan mail that was on the top, but the bottom, which is the oldest of old, is just ruined, and I'm really pissed off about that. I feel horrible. I don't know what I could have done, but I wrote down before I threw it all out. I wrote down who the stuff was from, just so you know that I did keep it, and I love you guys for sending me stuff, and I acknowledge that you sent it to me, and I'm, I, again, apologize. Jillian M. sent me a notebook that was filled with, like, questions and artwork, and that is just ruined. I apologize. A letter from Haley W. I'm really sorry. Veronica Dempsey sent me a poster. That got ruined. I am, again, sorry. Tariq sent the most amazing, it was the very first TGS podcast fan art. Gone. A letter from Sheena, a letter from Dylan S, a letter from Sarah D. All those were personal letters to me. They were destroyed as well. A letter from Ian and a letter from Ethan S. I got a card, a get well card when I was sick from Dana, and a letter from Timothy, and a pack of stickers from Mr. Giddles. All of them destroyed. These are some of the very first things I ever got, and they're just gone. I managed to save a lot. I left, like, this is a screenshot of some of what I saved. Other things are, like, sitting out because they're just sort of dampish, but they don't have mold or anything, so they're savable. So, but the people that I mentioned, again, I'm really sorry, and I just want to let you know that it hurts me to have lost things sent in by you guys. But everything else that has been sent, if your name wasn't mentioned, you're cool. I have your stuff. I try to read every single one and respond to every single one. So if you sent me something and you didn't get a response right away, I really apologize, but I don't want to just, like, do one of those videos where I open it up and, like, look, I got such and, a letter from somebody, and then never address it again. I'd rather take the time to respond to you. So I'm really sorry to those of you who sent stuff in a long time ago, and this happened. It sucks, I know, but like I said, it probably sucks more for me than anyone else. And more importantly, I was really stupid, and because I wanted to have the hat, as you can see, even though it's the light's so bright, I can't even damn finger, go pick a direction. There. I'm really bad. I'm really bad at doing, like, mirrored images. There. As you can see, the hat, like, hashtag Chan is, the light's killing the, it's reflecting off of it, so you can't see the hashtag Chan. But needless to say, as I ramble at, going on 6:30 in the morning, as I ramble here for a little bit, I just want to let you guys know that I took all the questions because I wanted to have the hat in the background for a video I was doing. I took all the questions and dumped them into that bin, and I didn't notice the smell, and they all got covered in gunk too. So all the questions. I managed to write them all down, but I'm going to have to recut them up or rip them up and put them back in the hat at a later date. So I made a list of them all and just pick 3 at random, and then we'll go back to actually picking out the hat later. It's a whole mess. I apologize. You're probably wondering, like, why didn't you know that? Why couldn't you smell this nasty smell, Jesse? Well, because it's like one of those bins that you lock. I don't know. I don't even know. That's what happens when you are just constantly busy and you just don't notice stupid little things like that. It sucks. Anyway, so all the questions are written down, and I'm just going to get to those later, and we'll get back to the hat next week. But for now, I have 3 questions. We're going to get to those. Enough feeling sorry for myself. Let's do this thing. Question the first. This is from Johan A. Hey, Jesse, tell me, please, I'm curious, on an average day, how many hours would you say you spend recording footage, editing videos, rendering and uploading, doing what you want, spare time, and sleeping? Well, okay, recording footage, 6-7 hours maybe. It depends on what game, it depends on what I'm trying to do, and it depends on what videos I want to get done and how much free time I'll have later that week. But usually 6 to 7 hours are spent actually recording. Editing footage depends on what I'm doing again. Like, if it's a big project, it could take all day. For those of you who are curious, those old weekly review shows would take 12 hours. And they were literally like 12 minutes long. But the time involved was through the roof. An average playthrough, from start to finish, like from when I put the footage together to render to finish rendering, an hour, 2 hours, something like that, on an average playthrough. The longer the playthrough, so like a power hour, for example, would be, you know, an hour, and then however long it would take to render. So another 2, maybe 3 hours. So it just depends on time. A video like this, like a Q&A, I have to take the footage at this, and then I have to add in the sound, and because they're 2 separate files. So I record one with Adobe Sound Booth, and then I record the footage with this camera here, and then combine them. So that'll take maybe 30 minutes, and then because it's so short, render it out, biddy-bobbity boop, and it's done. So these aren't too intensive, but there are some things that take a while. Rendering and uploading. Well, rendering, like I think I addressed that. Uploading, because I work on YouTube, I've decided to pay for like the highest internet possible. So I have 50 down, 5 up, which is, I guess, other places in the world, they laugh at that. I guess there's this Google Fiber thing coming out now. It's if you're in Kansas City, it's 1,000 down, 1,000 up. You probably should get that. It's the same price as I'm paying for my junk. But I know a lot of people do like somewhere below or somewhere above. But that's what I can get, so that's what I'm buying. And because it's 5 up, it goes fast. So it's usually, I think what the average rate is, because I've tested this, 3 gigabytes going up is 86 minutes, I think. Something like that. So since most videos are between 800 megabytes and a gig, I don't know, 40 minutes, 35 minutes to upload, something like that. But the less, the less speed you have, the longer it takes. What do I do in my spare time? How much time do I have for spare time? On an average day, the time that I have for spare time is usually spent doing recording stuff with TGS, and then any other time is at like late at night. But most of the time, seriously, most of the time is spent in front of this computer. I do make time. I know. Prepare yourself for this. I do try to make time at least 5 days a week to go to the gym, just because I know someone's like, you got to work out or whatever. It's not even that. It's just it's such a de-stressor to like spend 45 minutes on a treadmill or whatever and just think about that, and then be like, I probably shouldn't have done that because I hurt all over. But it's better than, like, sometimes you get comments that are just like, you know what? I'm not going to say a thing. I'm just going to walk this one off. I'm going to go on, like, the elliptical thing and just do my stuff. Oh, and then sleeping. Depends. Sometimes I'll get 5 hours, sometimes 4, sometimes, like, 9. It just depends on what I have to do. If I have nothing to do, I'll just pass out and wake up whenever the hell I wake up. It's kind of really great. This is definitely one of the perks of the job. However, there's a lot of times when I have to do like 4 videos and then go do a bunch of stuff the next day. And so Yeah, it's all over the place. This is definitely a job that you make your own schedule, but your schedules are always just... I mean, just look at the time I'm recording this right now. Hopefully you understand. Question the second. This is from Great Fox Commentary. You say that Final Fantasy VI was your favorite Final Fantasy game, right? Well, mine is debatable on 8 or 10. What were your likes and dislikes of all three of those Final Fantasies? Oh my god. Okay. Final Fantasy VI, I think I posted on my Tumblr about this, but the story's great, the villains are great, the characters are great, the music's great. It's the last game that wasn't dependent on graphics to tell the story, but actual storytelling, which makes it awesome. It's like reading a book, so I apologize, but it's like a book where stuff moves, which is pretty great. 8, I liked the characters. I thought the story was cool. In fact, I'll be honest, I loved Final Fantasy VIII. There's a little too much on the lovey-dovey, but, you know, that's what the game was about. I liked Final Fantasy VIII until the 4th disc, which was totally freaking pointless. I cannot explain to this day why that part of the story was needed. You go like, which one? Then it's like, we defeated the witch. And then it's like, which 2 / your former, like, arch nemesis guy. And then you're in space. So you, like, go to space to fight, like, Space Witch. And then at the end, it's suddenly, oh, there was a 3rd one. And you've never met her before. And it's in, like, another alternate dimension thing. And you go there because it's, like, a weird twisted... I don't even know. They could have ended it. They literally could have ended it when you saved Rinoa, whatever her name was. You could have saved like her in space and ended the game, but they decided to go on. Actually, one of the very first videos I ever made was it's called the Squall and Rinoa Tribute. I think Rinoa Tribute. Look it up. It's on. It was an AMV on. I think it was like amv.org, but people stole it and put it up on YouTube. So you can look at it. It has like several 100,000 views on some guy's channel, but that was me. I made that way back in the day, so you can look that up. And it was sort of my tribute to that couple, and it was the very first thing I ever made. I don't remember what year that was. 2002, 2001, 2000, 2000. I think it was year 1999, maybe. I don't even know, but it was a long time. It was a long freaking time ago. So yeah. And what was it? Final Fantasy X. I loved 10. I thought the story was really cool and a unique concept. I loved the I don't remember what everything. I don't know why I do this, but every single Final Fantasy game, no matter what they're called, is an Esper to me, just because that was 6. But the Espers, which is I guess the summons, all of it I thought was awesome. The voice acting, I just did not like. Which is not to say I don't like voice acting in video games, because I do. I think the voice acting in Final Fantasy 12 was out of this world. I think the problem with 10 was they were like, let's cast anime voice actors and stuff and celebrity voice actors, which is, it's okay, but I didn't feel it. Like, some of the voices matched the lips and some of the voices didn't. I don't think they knew what they wanted to do. 12 was perfect. They found like a cast of like theater trained actors and were like, just go and do this thing. And it was awesome. The story and the gameplay and pretty much most of 12 I'm not too big of a fan of, but the voice acting was stellar. Not a big fan of the plot though. And finally, question number 3 from I Am the Rooster. My question is, did you ever go to college, and how well did you do in high school? Well, this may come as a surprise to you, but in high school, I was a bit of a class clown. In fact, I was that kid who was like invited to parties just to be funny. And so, I sort of accepted that role, but I'll be honest, I was mostly just a class clown because there were a lot of classes that I did not understand, especially math and science. I wish I would have paid more attention. It was roughly around the time at the end of Earth Sciences when it started to move into like, know all the things on the periodic table of the elements. I was like, I'm done. And so rather than try to learn stuff, I just acted out like an idiot. And so that and math killed me. I get it now. The older I get, the more I want to learn and understand. But at the time, English, history, that I digged that stuff. Everything else, not a big fan of. However, after high school, I went off to college, and I'll be honest, college, because you get to choose what you want to take. Sure, there are classes you have to take. Like, you have to take certain things, but because you get to choose how you want to approach stuff, it's so much easier. There's a lot more work, mind you, but it's so much easier because you are invested in it. So I did much better in college, and I graduated from college, since you're wondering that, and then I went and got my master's degree. The higher you get up on the educational ladder, the easier it seemed for me, but maybe that's because there's higher levels of thinking and less just like memorize these vocab words or memorize these mathematical problems. It's a lot more problem solving in the like analytical sense of the term rather than, you know, write the answer 1,000 times. I don't know. I just liked it a lot more. And so I do in fact have a master's degree, and I know, shocking. It's an education, and should I ever choose to, I could use it to never teach again, because I did that for 2 years and it was a horrible experience. So we will not be going back there. So really, I have a useless master's degree, but you know, maybe I can educate you through the power of gaming. Anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. I had a blast today with the live stream. I'm hoping I can wake up tomorrow and see that we are still kicking butt and king of the web, and we'll win the day. I love you guys so much. Thank you a ton. Again, my sincerest apologies to those out there who sent me stuff way back when I was just starting. You guys mean the world to me, and it just sucks that something as stupid as a broken bottle could destroy that stuff. I'm very sorry, and I just want to let you know, it doesn't change anything. I loves yous. Thank you all, and as always, to be continued.